Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you for watching. Today I put together my favorite winter DIYs from last year. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit the notification bell button so you can get notified every time I upload. With that being said, now let's craft. For the snowflake frame, I will be using this 6x8 Dollar Tree canvas. I'm going to remove the staples and I'm using this knife. I'm using the Ireally chalk paint in antique wax to paint the frame. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. Now I'm going to work on the snowflake, and I'm using the third snowflake from this Dollar Tree DECOR. I did use two of them in my previous video. I will have that link down in the description box so you can check that out. After removing the tinsel, I'm going to paint this white using my chalk paint. Once everything's dry, I'm going to put these two together. Now, there's different ways you can put this. You can put it on the top, the center, or even in the corner. I decided to do mine in the center. So I'm going to glue it using hot glue. Now again, there's different ways you can decorate this. The way I did it is I add 2 pine cones in the center, then I added some pick with a bow. Another thing you can do is glue the snowflake more towards the top and then add the greenery with the bow right on top. I'll show you a picture. I did do that one, but then I changed my mind and ended up doing it this way. And that is it, guys, for this DIY. I think it turned out beautiful, so perfect for winter. For my next DIY, I will be upcycling a Valentines sign that I used during Valentine's this year, the beginning of February. Hopefully next year they'll carry them again, but these are the ones that had like 3 hearts on the top, or at the bottom, I'm sorry, and then one of them said love, and I think the other one said welcome. 2 of them came in one, and I did end up cutting one shorter. I do want to mention that you can use wood to make this. The next thing I did was just paint it white and use some antique wax right on top of it. To make the tree, I'm using a paint marker and a ruler. The first thing I did was just draw a line. To draw the stems, all I did was start at the top, and then every time I kept going lower and lower, I just made the line a little bit longer until I got to the bottom. And that is it for this set of trees. I think they turned out beautiful and they were so easy to make. My next DIY is another simple and easy DIY. I'm going to use a clear plastic tape. These are from the wedding section, come in a pack. A mini wreath. They did carry two, one with the white berries and one with red berries. I am using the one with the white berries. I did end up removing the pine cones to use it in some other DIY, but I'm still going to add some other different ones that I already had. So the first thing I'm going to do is just glue the wreath to the plate. I then added the pine cones. Like I said, I did remove the ones that came with this. So I added some different ones that I already had. And I only added 3. I think it came with 3. I'm not sure. I also added some of the other Walmart greenery that I had. And this centerpiece, you can use an LED candle or just a regular candle like I am. I'm using this from Candles Heavens Inc. and I got this from Instagram. I'll have her information down in the description box so you can check her out. I'm telling you, these candles smell amazing. For my snowflake DIY, I will be using a Dollar Tree DECOR sign. The one I'm using is from summer, but Dollar Tree right now is carrying Christmas, and I think they're starting to do Valentines, so you can use one of those instead. I'm going to remove the label. I did have a little trouble, so I'm using my blow dryer. Even after that, there was a lot of glue residue, so what I did is use a scent sheet to just remove everything. The next thing I will be doing is painting the back using some white chalk paint. Once it's nice and dry, I'm going to go over it using my Ireally antique wax. The reason I went with white first and then the antique wax is because I want the antique wax to be light. If I was to go straight into the sign without adding white, it would have been so dark. So this is why, but you can totally skip this step. Plus, I love the color of the antique wax on top of white. And this is how it looks once it's dry. I'm going to set this aside and work on the snowflakes. So for the snowflakes, I will be using this Dollar Tree DECOR. It has 3 snowflakes. I'm going to remove the tinsel. I am only using 2 for this DIY. I will save the last one for my Saturday's video, which will be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to turn the notification bell button so you can get notified when I upload. I first had trouble removing the tinsel on my first one, but then the second one was so easy. The easiest way to do it is just cutting it with scissors, but I didn't want to ruin it just in case I used it, but I ended up not using it. So the next thing I will be doing is painting the snowflakes using my chalk paint. Now let's put this together. I am going to use both of the snowflakes, and I'm going to remove the little circle that the snowflake has. I thought of removing the whole thing first, but then I thought I should just cut him and make him look like the other ones. I'm going to glue one at the corner and then the other one right on the other corner using hot glue. To finish this off, I will be adding some boxwood greenery. The one I'm using is from Walmart. Right now they are carrying a holiday one, so it has glitter. So be careful with that because I ended up having glitter all over my sign, which at first I didn't like, but then it kind of grew in me because it is kind of winter, so I just left it like that. And I'm also making some bows using this Michael's burlap ribbon, which I got during their Black Friday sale for like $2. It was 70% off. The last thing I will be doing is adding some jute string just so I can be able to hang this sign. And I just added some knots to both ends and it makes it look a lot prettier. And that is it for this DIY. I think it turned out beautiful. At first I wasn't digging the little spikes on the snowflakes, but then once I was done with everything, it looks so perfect with the rest of my winter decor I have done. My next DIY is so easy and simple to do. From Dollar Tree, I will be using one of their bubble ball glass. And from Walmart, I will be using the Faux Snow. I know Dollar Tree carries some, but I already had this one. And some pine cones. The first thing I will be doing is just pouring some of the snowflake into my bowl. Then I'm going to add this candle. This is from Dollar General, but I know Dollar Tree carries candles this size. And then add some pine cones all around it. I did use different size and some have faux snow on them, and I think it turned out beautiful. And that is it, guys. This was so easy and simple to do, and it's perfect for this winter. And I wish I lived up in north because I live in Florida and winter it looks like summer. But for those of you guys that actually get to experience winter, this is a perfect decor sign. My next DIY is also simple and easy to do. From Dollar Tree, I will be using this container with lid, and I picked this up in the wedding section, and I'm using a candle holder. I'm going to paint the container white. As you can see, the candle holder is already white. That is because I am upcycling that, and I'm not using the lid from the bowl. Once it's dry, I am going to use a scent sheet to distress it. That is just so I can match my candle holder that already looks like that. The next thing I will be doing is gluing the pieces together. And for this DIY, I did only use hot glue, but if you're going to add something heavy in here, you can use E6000. To decorate this more, I will be adding some juice string at the bottom and making a little bow. The next thing I will be adding are 2 pine cones, and I'm just going to glue them right underneath the bow on the juice string. To decorate this, I will be using these boxwood holiday picks that I got from Walmart and some other holiday picks that I got from Walmart too. They have these berries. And I thought I was going to be able to just put in the whole pick in there, but the bowl isn't deep enough, so I did have to cut each stem of the boxwood. And that is it for this decor. I absolutely love how it turned out. You can use this all year round. All you have to do is just switch the greenery and remove the pine cones. For my Hello Winter sign, I use this DECOR circle sign. I got this a while back from Dollar Tree. I know Dollar Tree isn't carrying any round decor signs, but Dollar Tree carries so many different things you can use instead, like the stove covers, the charger plates, even the cake pans or the pizza pan. I'm going to start off by removing the tag, and I'm going to paint the back of this sign using my white chalk paint. The next thing I did was draw 2 lines almost at the bottom. That is where I'm going to write winter. But first I'm going to paint it using the Waverly Antique Wax. I did add way too much of the antique wax, so I decided to wipe some of it off using a napkin. And I actually like how this left it. I know it looks kind of streaky, but that's what gave it the wood looking color. And I just loved it. I kept doing it until I like how it looked. And this is how it looks once it's nice and dry. I'm going to transfer the word winter, and I used the app Pic Collage, and the font name is King Basil. To transfer the words, I'm going to flip the paper around and scribble the back using this chalk. So when I was about to start tracing it, I couldn't see where the center was at, so that's why I decided to cut this. Then I went ahead and used a pencil to start going over the letters. Once I finished, it looked like this. I know there is a lot of chalk, but don't worry about that now. Don't try to remove it now because you will erase the letters. So now I'm gonna use a small paintbrush and some chalk paint and go over the word. And this is how it looks once I finished going over it. I did go over it twice so it was nice and white. Once it was dry, I used a napkin to wipe down the rest of the chalk. For the word hello, I will be using this wood word that I got from Dollar Tree. You can use some poster letters or even the wood letters that Dollar Tree carries instead. I'm going to remove the tag and paint this using the Waverly chalk paint. The Waverly Antique Wax. Once again, I'm going to just wipe this a little bit just so it can be light. I'm going to glue this above the winter. For the greenery, I will be using this one. This from Walmart, and I got this last year. I have been trying to look for these at Walmart and I still haven't found these. Hopefully they do bring these in because I love these. These are so cute and are perfect for winter. I'm going to remove 4 stems to use 2 on each side. The next thing I will be doing is just making a bow using this burlap, and this burlap is from Dollar General. I haven't been able to find these at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree does carry regular burlap. Right now they are carrying the one with the lace. To tie my bow, I'm using a piece of jewelry, and I made it long enough to where I can add some beads and I can tie this to my sign. The beads I'm using are from Walmart. I will be using only 4. I'm going to just thread them in there on one side, and the other side of the jewelry I'm going to use it to tie it to the sign. Now the last thing I did was add these snowflakes that I already had, and I'm going to add them 1 on each side. And that is it for this beautiful Hello Winter. I absolutely love this. It looks so high-end and it was easy and inexpensive to make. For my next DIY, I will be using this Dollar Tree bamboo cutting board. I'm going to remove the plastic and stain this using the Waverly Antique Wax. This DIY is inspired by my friend Lionette, DIY Beauty on Purpose. She recently did one of these, but she did make a bigger version. So I'll have that video down in the description box so you can definitely go check it out. I am going to use a paper to stain this, or a napkin, I'm sorry. And I ended up switching it to a paintbrush because I realized that the paper soaked too much of the antique wax and I was wasting so much. So I switched it. The next thing I did was print a deer head out. All I did was go to Google and search free printable head, or free head, free head deer printable, or free printable head deer. Something like that. I forgot what I searched. But I did end up cutting the paper just so like that it's easier for me to center it when I do transfer this. To scribble the back, I will be using chalk. And once I'm done doing that, I'm going to place the paper where I want my deer to go. Then with a pencil, I'm going to start tracing it. Another thing you can use is a Cricut. I'm pretty sure it's a lot faster and easier. Since I don't have one, I am transferring this. And I'm going to paint this using a small paintbrush and white chalk paint. Before I add the greenery, I decided to make a hole. This is going to be where I add a piece of juice string and some beads. If you don't have a drill and you can't make a hole like this one, you can always just use a piece of juice string and glue it to the back if you want to hang this. Or you don't even have to hang this, you can just use a stand for this. The beads I will be using are from Walmart. This pack, well, it didn't come in this little container. I actually got this little container from Dollar Tree. But I did get all of these beads from Walmart, and they were like, I'm not sure if it was like, I don't know, 300 pieces or 500 pieces for under $6. And I have been using these and I still have a lot left, so I think it is worth it to buy them. Plus they are beautiful colors. The next thing I did was just grab a piece of juice string and put it through the hole, then add some beads, just like my first DIY. For the greenery, I will be using the same pick I used in my first DIY. I'm going to remove 2 stems off, one for each side, and I felt like they were too big, so I did end up cutting them, and I made it to where it only has 2 of the little stems. The next thing I will be doing is gluing it to my sign. After that, I'm going to add a juice string bow I made to the center, and I decided to add another bow right on top of that, and I'm making it out of this burlap ribbon. I got this from Michael's. I then went ahead and added the bow and added 2 pine cones underneath that. And that is it for this deer decor sign. It is one of my favorites. I think it turned out beautiful. For my next DIY, I will be using these beautiful paint jars that I picked up from Dollar General. They were $1 each. They are 2 different sizes, and I know these aren't from Dollar Tree, but Dollar Tree does carry mason jars you can use instead. But I felt like these were perfect for winter. They do have a snowflake printed in the front. For the snow, Dollar Tree also carries snow. I unfortunately couldn't find any, so I did went to Walmart and picked this bag up. I'm going to add some snow to the rim of the jars, and I didn't have any Mod Podge, so I am using some regular glue. All I'm doing is putting glue, and I did use my finger just to rub it all around so it's nice and even. Then I sprinkled some of the snow. I will be making snowy mason jars, and to do that I use the snow spray paint, and I got this from Walmart, Dollar Tree, or Dollar General also carry them. There is other ways you can make the mason jars look snowy, but I already had the snow spray, so this is what I used. I'm going to spray both of them, but I didn't use a lot. I also let this dry overnight, and this is how they look once they were dry. I'm going to start off by wrapping the jewstring around the jar, but I am making sure I have some strings that are hanging on both sides because I'm going to add some beads. Once I am done wrapping it, I'm going to tie it, and like I said, I'm going to add some beads. I'm going to add one on each end, and I made it to where one was higher than the other. I then added pine cones to each jar. The last thing I did was add some greenery to these jars. I think they turned out beautiful. There is many other things you can use instead, like fairy lights, candles, LED candles. It's totally up to you, but I just love how these turned out. They turned out beautiful. For the tier tray, I will be using some dinner plates. I picked these up from Dollar General during summer for 25 cents. They were on clearance when I got these. Dollar Tree carries so many things you can use instead: pizza pans, cake pans, stove covers, even chargers. Now for the bottom piece, I will be using a bowl, and I got this from Walmart for 50 cents. And for the center, I will be using this recycled glass. But if you don't have one of these, of course, you can use a Dollar Tree candle holder. I'm going to start off by spray painting everything using this metallic spray paint. I got this from Walmart under $4. I let these dry for a couple of hours. The next thing I did was add some popsicle sticks in the center because it has like this dent, and I want this to hold more to the other tray. To make this sturdy, you can use E6000 or a heavier duty glue. At the moment, I don't have any, but I am going to go buy one because I do want to go back and add some to this. I love how this turned out. I'm going to repeat the same thing to the centerpiece because again, it does have a dent. And when I was adding the popsicle stick, it wasn't enough, so I decided to add some cardboard. As I was gluing this, I decided to add some nautical rope for more support because I wasn't using any 6000. I felt like it needed something else. And at the end, I actually like how this looks, so I am going to leave it. And I'm going to add to the bottom. Before I add the top tier, I added some nautical rope to the bottle, so like that it can hold more. And that is it for this tier tray. I think it turned out beautiful, and the best part is that you can use this all year round. Now I will be making some decor to go inside my tier tray. The first one I will be doing is this little house. I am using a Dollar Tree house. I'm going to start off by removing the jute string that it has and the love sign. I use a knife to remove the love sign. I didn't remove it perfectly, so I'm using my knife to just scrape the rest. After that, I use a sand sheet to make it more smoother. I'm going to paint my house using some white chalk paint. I know there is some houses that already come white. I do have one, but I'm saving that one. So I did just paint the entire house white. The next thing I will be using is some scrap paper. This is from Hobby Lobby. As you can see, I already used this. And these little DIY mittens or gloves, these come from Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to just trace them on the paper. Once I am done tracing them, I did go around them to make them smaller because I do not want to add the paper to the whole entire mitten. I only want to add it to the center. I'm showing here what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to paint the mittens black, but since I only want the border to be black, I'm not painting the whole thing, just like around it. Once they are dry, I'm going to add the paper, and I use a regular glue stick to glue this. Before I add these, I'm going to add Cozy Home. For the word cozy, I'm using these Dollar Tree small little stickers. And for the word home, I will be using some other different ones. These are from Dollar Tree as well. I just love these stickers. These are so farmhouse. Plus, they are a different font. So I think it went perfect for this little cozy home house. I will be using some hot glue to glue the mittens. These already come with adhesive, but mine is already wore out, so that's why I'm using the hot glue. Another thing I will be adding is some jute string, and since this has a space in the back, all I'm doing is just tucking a little piece to the back. To finish this off, I will be adding the jute string back to the house. And that is it for this cozy home little house. I think it turned out beautiful and it looks so adorable in the tier tray. For my next DIY, I will be using one of these wood planks that I got from Dollar Tree. I'm only using one, and I'm using the same scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to trace it, then cut it. The next thing I will be doing is painting around the square, just half an inch using black paint. For the stand, I will be using a piece of popsicle stick, and I'm going to paint it black as well. And because I want this to have a border, I am going to cut a little bit more off the scrap paper. Using my Elmer's glue stick, I'm going to glue the scrap paper to the wood plank. Now for the snowflake, I did use this one. This comes from a Dollar Tree pack. I paint it white and then glue it using hot glue. Now I'm going to glue it to the stand, but before that I'm going to add this little wood square just for extra support. And that is it for this little decor sign. I absolutely love how it turned out. I did add a shoestring bow to finish this off. For my next DIY, I will be using some wood blocks, and I will be using these. These are from Ross. They cost $2.99. They have 5 different sizes, and 2 of them are the same size, so I am using one of them. I will be hand drying the word baby and the word outside. For it's cold, I will be using some Dollar Tree stickers. I will be going over the words using this black paint marker. I wish I used a small paintbrush and paint because this was kind of bleeding, so it made it look a little bit messy, but I ended up leaving it like that. It still came out pretty. I also drew a snowflake. The last thing I will be doing is gluing some ribbon around it. I think that this made it match the rest of my decor, and I love how this turned out. This is so cute and it looks so pretty on the tier tray. For my next DIY, I will be using this Dollar Tree dome. I am going to paint the base using the same spray paint I used in my first DIY. I drew a circle in the middle because I am going to add a tree there. But before that, I do want to add some regular glue all around the circle, then add some of the faux snow. I got this snow pack from Walmart. It was like $3 and something. Dollar Tree does carry fake snow. I'm going to add it all around the circle. Then I'm going to add the tree in the center. I'm using a small tree that I got from a Dollar Tree pack. And I wanted to add more of the snow, so I did add some hot glue. Then I sprinkled some snow on the top. The next thing I will be doing is just gluing the tree in the center. And that is it. The last thing I did was just add a bow. This was so easy and so inexpensive to make. For my next DIY, I will be using some more Dollar Tree letters and another wood block. I'm using the smallest one from the pack. I'm going to put let it snow. The last thing I did was draw some dots around it. And that is it for this DIY. I think this was so easy and so simple to do.